Right now, in the air around you, there are particles of yourself floating. Dead skin, microscopic mites, tiny flakes of the past, drifting quietly, unseen. Every breath you take contains pieces of your yesterday, fragments of your furniture, remnants of your pets, ghosts of your meals. You can't see them, but they're there. Millions of them, swirling in the shaft of sunlight streaming through your window, dancing in the gentle current of your breath. What is dust really made of, and what does it say about the spaces we live in? Tonight, we'll examine the invisible world that surrounds you, the microscopic ecosystem that lives in your bedroom, the ancient particles that have traveled across the universe to settle on your nightstand. We'll discover how much of yourself you shed every single day, how many tiny creatures are living in your mattress. And yes, we'll explore what it means when you realize that dust isn't just dirt. It's history, it's memory, it's you. Look at your arm. That skin you see? It's already dead. A protective shell around the living tissue underneath. And it's falling off. Right now. 30,000 skin cells every minute. 40,000 if you're moving around, scratching, stretching, living. Your body is a constant snowstorm of itself. Invisible flakes drifting away from you with every gesture, every step, every breath. But your skin is just the beginning. That soft sweater you're wearing, it's shedding too. Microscopic cotton fibers, wool fragments, synthetic polymers breaking down under the friction of movement. Your pets contribute their share. Cats shed 50 billion skin cells per day. Dogs lose even more, plus fur, plus the tiny mites that live in their fur. Even your furniture is decomposing. Foam cushions releasing polyurethane particles. Wooden tables shedding cellulose. Carpets losing synthetic fibers with every footstep. The air itself brings gifts, pollen grains from flowers you've never seen, spores from fungi growing in distant forests, salt crystals from oceans hundreds of miles away. And then there are the hitchhikers, bacteria clinging to larger particles, viruses floating on droplets of moisture, remnants of insects that wandered in and died. Kitchen dust is different from bedroom dust. More grease, more food particles, flour that escaped your baking, steam that condensed and collected microscopic debris. Bathroom dust carries soap residue, toothpaste particles, skin cells shed during your most private moments. Your bedroom dust is the most personal. It's mostly you, your skin, your hair, your exhaled breath carrying particles from deep inside your lungs. Every room tells a story through its dust, through the invisible record of everything that happens within its walls. Your mattress is a city. Population, 2 million. They're called dust mites. Microscopic spiders that live in the darkness between your sheets. They can't see you, but they know you're there. They smell you, the warmth of your body, the carbon dioxide in your breath, the endless feast of dead skin you provide. Each mite is smaller than a grain of sand, 8 legs, no eyes, a mouth designed for one purpose: eating you. Not the living you, the dead you, the skin cells you shed in your sleep, the microscopic banquet you leave behind every night. They mate in your pillows, lay eggs in your carpet, die in your furniture, a complete civilization built on the foundation of your personal ecosystem. And they're productive. Each mite produces waste 20 times a day. Tiny pellets of digested human skin, concentrated allergens that become airborne when you roll over. Your bed is their world. The fibers of your sheets are like jungle vines to them. The spaces between mattress coils are vast caverns. Your pillow is a mountain range where they build their homes. They live for 2 months, long enough to reproduce, to contribute to the colony, to add their own bodies to the dust when they die. But mites aren't the only residents. Fungal spores float in looking for places to grow. Some succeed, microscopic mushrooms sprouting in the humid darkness under your bed. The spores are patient. They can wait decades for the right conditions. The perfect combination of moisture and organic matter. Then they bloom. Invisible forests of mold growing in your carpet. Even bacteria have found their niche, feeding on the organic compounds in dust, multiplying in the warm, humid environment of your home. It's an entire ecosystem, predators and prey, decomposers breaking down dead material, opportunists exploiting every available resource. All of it happening in the space you consider clean, safe, yours. Medieval homes were different. Stone walls, dirt floors, straw for bedding that was changed seasonally, if you were lucky. The dust was coarser then, more ash from cooking fires. Animal dung tracked in from the street. Particles of wood and thatch from the slowly decomposing building itself. But people's skin still flaked off. Lice still lived in their hair. Dust mites still thrived in their bedding. The Victorians became obsessed with dust. They covered everything in fabric, thick carpets, heavy curtains, ornate furniture draped in lace. But the dust didn't disappear. It just hid, accumulating in the deep pile of Persian rugs, settling into the folds of velvet drapes, creating thick, undisturbed layers in the spaces between walls and furniture. Victorian housewives spent hours each day moving dust from one surface to another, redistributing it, temporarily displacing it, never really eliminating it. The dust outlasted them, their homes, their carefully maintained appearances. Archaeological digs of Victorian sites reveal layers of accumulated particles, stories written in sediment. Egyptian tombs contain dust that's thousands of years old, particles that watched the pharaohs being buried, mites that fed on royal skin, spores that have been waiting millennia for the right conditions to grow. Even the mummies themselves contribute to the dust. Desiccated skin flaking off. Wrappings slowly decomposing. Ancient people becoming modern particles. NASA has strict dust protocols. On Mars, dust storms can last for months. Particles so fine they penetrate everything, coating solar panels, clogging instruments, potentially ending missions. But Earth dust is different, organic, alive, constantly changing. The dust on Mars is sterile, ancient, unchanged for millions of years. The dust in your home is fresh, new, created daily by the act of living. Some of the dust in your home came from space, not metaphorically, literally. Particles that formed in the heart of dying stars, fragments of asteroids that wandered the solar system for millions of years before landing on your windowsill. Every day, Earth gains 40 tons of cosmic dust, micrometeorites smaller than grains of sand, particles from comet tails, debris from asteroid collisions that happened before life existed. They fall silently, constantly, mixing with terrestrial dust, becoming part of the ecosystem of your home. The iron in your blood came from dying stars, but your nose adapted. The calcium, like everything else, the stench became forged in supernovas. And Some of that same stellar material is floating in your living room right now. Interstellar dust helped form the planets. Particles clumping together in the early solar system, growing from specks to pebbles to boulders to worlds. The dust clouds between stars are where new suns are born, where planets begin to form, where the raw materials of life gather and organize themselves into complexity. Your home contains fragments of that story, cosmic dust that predates Earth, minerals that formed in the void between galaxies, particles that have traveled impossible distances to rest on your furniture. When you clean, you're handling pieces of the universe, wiping away stardust, vacuuming up the remnants of cosmic processes that happened billions of years ago. The dust mites in your mattress are eating cosmic material. Your skin cells contain atoms that were forged in stellar cores. The circle of matter continues, star to dust, to life, to dust, to star. Dust bothers us viscerally, psychologically. We see it as failure, neglect, the visible proof that we're losing control of our environment. But why? It's just particles, natural, inevitable, part of the cycle of matter that makes life possible. Maybe it's because dust reminds us of mortality, of the slow dissolution that awaits everything, the gradual return to particles that all complex structures eventually face. Abandoned houses fill with dust, thick layers that accumulate in the silence, coating family photographs, settling on empty chairs, preserving the last moments of human presence. The dust becomes a clock, marking time, showing how long a place has been empty, how long since someone cared enough to clean. Ghost hunters often mention dust, the way it moves in empty rooms, the patterns it makes on undisturbed surfaces, the sense that it's watching, waiting. But dust isn't malevolent. It's just persistent, patient. It will outlast our anxiety about it, our attempts to control it, our fear of what it represents. Dust to dust. The phrase acknowledges what we already know, that we're temporary arrangements of matter, that the atoms that make us will outlast the patterns they currently form. The dust in your home carries memories, particles from special occasions, fragments of celebrations, residue from moments of joy and sorrow. When you move, you leave dust behind. When you die, you become dust. The cycle continues without judgment, without preference, without pause. The dust you breathe tonight was once part of something living. Skin that felt sunshine, leaves that danced in wind, stars that burned for billions of years before giving their atoms to this moment. You are not separate from the dust. You are its source, its destination, its temporary custodian. Every particle floating in the air around you carries history. The story of your home, your life, your choices, your presence. The mites in your mattress are not invaders, they're participants, members of the ecosystem that exists because you exist, partners in the dance of matter and energy that we call life. The cosmic dust on your shelves connects you to the universe, reminds you that home extends beyond your walls, beyond your planet, beyond your solar system. Dust is not dirt, it's continuity, the visible proof that nothing is permanent, that everything is connected, that the boundary between self and environment is an illusion. Tonight, when you see particles floating in the lamplight, remember what they really are. Memory made visible, history in motion, the universe expressing itself through the simple act of accumulation. You are dust. And to dust you will return, but right now, in this moment, you are dust that dreams. Dust that loves. Dust that creates meaning from meaninglessness. The particles will settle. The mites will continue their work. The cosmic dust will keep falling, and you will keep shedding yourself into the world. One cell at a time. One breath at a time. One moment at a time. Until all that remains is the story written in dust. The invisible record of a life lived, a presence felt. A brief arrangement of matter that dared to call itself by name. You are home. Sleep well among the particles.